It's rainy, been cloudy all morning. Really rained heavily in the area this morning. If you weren't out and about, 55 degrees, humidity way up there. Hopefully something we can play through without interrupting the pitchers. Odubel Herrera is having a good time in this series. He's 2 for 6 with 4 walks. He scored a couple of runs. He sees more pitches per at bat than any hitter in the National League at 4.82, and he's been on base 18 games in a row. Ryan Howard back in their lineup today on a wet track at first base. Tanner Roark, 7 games career, 5 starts against the Phillies. Not a great record or ERA, but if he does anything near what he did last weekend, look out Phillies.
Yeah, pretty much covered what he did his last start. 15 strikeouts, 3 walks, 7 innings of 2-hit ball, 2-0 win over Minnesota. Threw the curveball 13% of the time, the changeup 16% of the time. That's the highest percentage he's thrown those pitches this year. And the swing back fastball, as we always talk about, a key to a Tanner Roark start. Set the defense in the slop in the outfield. Worth, Dendecker, Harper the outfield. Espinosa, Drew left side. Murphy, Zimmerman right side. And Pedro Severino behind the plate. It's a big league name, isn't it?
Absolutely. Matt Dendecker in center. So that up the middle defense has him out there. Espinosa, Murphy in the middle, and Pedro Severino gets a start tonight. It'll be his first big league start since last year when the Nats saw him for just a few ball games. So Odubel Herrera into the batter's box. Folks out in left field stretching, trying to settle in. Steady drizzle here. Hopefully it goes away. Herrera overall hitting at .290, and we're underway at 4:41. So officially a 36-minute rain delay.
And the infield was uncovered for most of that. I mean, it's important to note because ground balls are going to be slick. You see Odubel Herrera squaring around to bunt the first pitch. Tough to throw a wet ball hard.
The crew chief has the plate. 18-year veteran Ted Barrett. Sean Barber, Angel Hernandez, Will Little, first, second, and third. .2-0 pitch. That's an easy 90 for a strike. And the ball evidently didn't swing back enough, and it's 3-1. Herrera having a crazy good on base thing going. 451, 5th in the league. He's second behind Goldschmidt with 21 walks. Paul Goldschmidt's been walked 23 times. Upstairs, and Herrera walks for the 5th time in this series. So he and Bryce Harper have combined for 10 walks. Freddie Galvis, the shortstop.
Well, you wonder if that rain delay, and I'm still not sure why we were delayed, threw Tanner Roark off a little bit. And he's a routine guy, was thrown out of that routine a little bit and going to have to figure it out.
Freddie Galvis 0 for 4, a sacrifice, hit into a couple of double plays last night. And against Tanner Roark, kind of interesting, no career numbers. Steps in at .230, couple of home runs. He's been better from the left side at .268. Herrera, pretty good lead, but it can't be a fast track, FP, as you talked about. The field was uncovered for quite a while, and I'm sure guys can dig in, but what happens after that is anybody's guess.
When you get the mist like this, the water kind of sits on top of the grass.
Rather Drew creeping in from third base there. Stephen Drew, a shortstop, playing third. Not for the first time as a Nat, but he was kind of steadily creeping in as Tanner Roark came set there. The double play depth for Espinosa and Murphy. Runner goes. Low and inside. Severino, a bullet. Great pick by Danny Espinosa, but safe is Herrera. And if that stands, he's 5 for 5 on the year.
I see the dugout check in. Tanner Roark is off the backside of the mound. I'm just going by Danny Espinosa's reaction here. See the peek by Herrera, pretty good jump. Nice pick by Danny Espinosa. And did his hand ever get there? Or was it blocked off by Espinosa's foot? Let me see that again. Severino ready for action. What do you look at the pick by Espinosa? Did his foot get there? No, he's out.
Yeah, the spikes are between his hand and the bag.
He's out.
So we think it's pretty decisive, don't we?
that does not matter in the least.
Yeah, what a great job of blocking the bag, which is perfectly legal by Danny Espinosa. Kind of interesting that catchers can't block home plate anymore, but the infielders can still do that, which they've been doing for a long time.
And I don't think he did that intentionally. That's just where his foot took him with the pick. You don't have time to think that quick. But yeah, he blocked him off. And you look at Odubel Herrera's shirt, tell you how wet the infield is. He's got mud on it, not dirt.
And he's holding the right shoulder.
Oh, that was quick. That's what I'm talking about.
He's out. Severino gets a caught stealing. And Herrera still nursing that shoulder as he walks off the diamond. So 2-6 on the caught stealing.
Dusty Baker's on fire with the challenges, and that's all on Danny Espinosa. That pick, that ball had a lot of hair on it. Severino threw it super hard, short hop to Espinosa, and the tag and the block. That was all the shortstop.
Yeah, Dusty, don't want to jinx him, but he's got 3 in a row.
He said once he got one, look out.
It took a while for that one, didn't it? 2-2 with 1 out to Freddie Galvis now. Breaking ball, tap to the right side. Little in-between hop for Ryan Zimmerman approaching that bag. 2 down.
No, you called that perfectly. He might have been a little out of control right there, but he made the play.
Most strikeouts in a single game since August 1st of last year. Max, of course, we know what he did in New York. Velasquez earlier this year for the Phillies. Tanner last weekend. And Clayton Kershaw, who always seemed to save something special for his buddy, the Giants. It's all brought to you by Jeep. Maikel Franco, the hitter, ball 1. Franco against Roark, 2 for 3 career, 3 RBIs. And in the series, 2 for 8. In there, 1-1. That's the second baseman Murphy on the shortstop side of the bag. So Severino gets the defense charged up with Espinosa. Then a couple of quick outs. In the game, that's his throwing shoulder that he was flexing and rubbing after that caught stealing. So here come the Nats. Matt Dendecker gets the call in front of Espinosa and Harper. So Danny up to the number 2 spot. And then Bryce, well, ownage early. 2 homers, 4 RBIs against Aaron Nola, 5 out of 7. Murphy behind Zimmerman, Worth, and then Steven Drew gets a start with Severino, who went 1 for 4 as a rookie. Here's Aaron Nola, 22-year-old right-hander.
Yeah, last start threw the fastball 65% of the time, averaged 89. Curveball is his best secondary pitch. Threw it 31% of the time last start. Knuckle curve, 12-6. Got a couple of them. And you see the opponent's average, 219. That's the defense behind Aaron Nola today for the Phils. There it is. Lowe, Herrera, Borges the outfield. Galvis, Franco left side. Hernandez, Howard right side. And Cameron Rupp behind the plate. There's Ryan Howard back in the lineup today.
Matt Dendecker 4 for 24 on the season, but 1 for 2 against this right-hander. Matt's only his second at bat of this series. Nola 0-2, 3 starts against the Nats, 5.68 the ERA. But Jeremy Hellickson showed us last night that prior stats don't mean a whole lot. He was 0-2 with an 8.78 in 3 starts, and he pitched beautifully for the Phils last evening. 2-0 pitch. Franco shallow at third. Ball 3. Likes it at home. Got to be taking here. Nola is from Jonathan Papelbon's university, LSU, and his neighborhood down there in Baton Rouge. First rounder, number 7 overall by the Phillies just 2 years ago. And Dendecker flies one to shallow right for Peter Borges. Danny Espinosa gets a bump to the number 2 spot today.
Yeah, free Danny Espinosa day. He's out of the 8th slot. That is so hard to hit in that spot on a daily basis. And now he gets to hit in front of Bryce Harper. We'll see what happens.
A walk and RBI, a base hit for Danny in this series. 0 for 1 with a walk against Nola. Hit number 500 came on a bunt. 34th career bunt hit in the 5th inning last night.
On base a couple of times, lined out to center field last time up.
Phillies in the outfield playing him to pull. Low, way off the line, about 110 feet worth out in left center. Pretty good breeze coming in from over the scoreboard in right center. And Espinosa strikes out on a curveball 0-2. 2 down. 4 years ago today, Bryce Harper, Dodger Stadium. Welcome to the big leagues, young man. There's the double. 3rd at bat.
Helmet gone.
He would later have a sac fly and a line drive to the opposite field. Nice debut.
Well, Mike Rizzo called him up because he needed some energy in the lineup. Look at that. I mean, it's that easy.
Shift that.
I mean, he tried to do that his last time up last night. If you remember, he lined out to left field. So they had that same shift on. He just got under them one last night, hit it hard. And if you're going to give me a hit, I'm going to go inside out swing and take it. And watch his hands inside the ball going the other way. And there goes the no-hitter.
Bryce was 19 years old, 196 days when he got called up. The previous youngster was the guy in the batter's box. Ryan Zimmerman was 20 years old, 238 days when he got the call 7 years prior.
Ooh, he's looking like he wants to run. 4 stolen bases on the year for Bryce.
Yeah, uniform dirty already. It's always a good sign. He likes it. Chatting with another left-handed slugger, Ryan Howard. Ryan Zimmerman, of course, got called up after a long and distinguished minor league career spanning 67 games. He was playing third base for UVA in the spring, and he was in the big league September 1st of 2005.
So if you're the Phillies, are you glad that Bryce Harper hit against the shift and you kept him in the ballpark with a single? And if you're Aaron Nola, same thing? Or are you thinking, wow, I got Bryce Harper to hit a ground ball to shortstop, now he's standing on first?
Yeah. Yeah, you bring it up often. It's a mixed bag for a pitcher. Harper going, pitches up and in, throw is high, and Bryce Harper is 5 for 5.
Knowing Bryce, he set some sort of goal in the offseason and he wants to be a 40-40 guy because that's his 5th stolen base. Pretty good jump. High throw from Cameron Rupp, and now he's in scoring position for Ryan Zimmerman. So took what the game gave him. Lousy single, stolen base, and now the Nats have a chance to go up 1-0.
Yeah, and now if you're Nola, it's kind of like you gave up a double, not a single. So it's 1-1 to Ryan Zimmerman, looking for RBI number 8.
Bryce only had 6 stolen bases all last year.
His career total coming into the season, 37. Bryce will learn a lot from Davey Lopes, as will Danny Espinosa, Michael A. Taylor, Matt Dendecker. Some of the guys who can really move it. 2-1. Nola, career record of 7-4, 18th career start. Zimmerman 1 for 3 with an RBI against him. And he frisbees that breaking ball in there, and the count's even 2-2. Nissan will track it.
Yeah, good sinker for Nola, and then the good curveball right here. Everything down and into Ryan Zimmerman. He's sitting 2-1 fastball, got the curve.
Outfield around to the right for Ryan. So they figure to work him away. And a 2-2. Zimmerman just bumps it up the middle. Kind of a front door breaking ball that jammed him, and the inning is over. Thrown out by Cesar Hernandez. Bryce a hit and a steal. No score.
did not have a strikeout. As we go to the top of the second inning, no score. Heavy-hitting Detroit Tigers are in D.C. for an interleague matchup. Miguel Cabrera and some guy named Jordan Zimmerman coming to town. Plus, pick up your Bryce Harper MVP bobblehead on Wednesday, May 11th. That game's at 7:05. Don't miss this series. Visit national.com for tickets.
Yeah, the Tigers, they were playing in some cold weather in Detroit today. Cold in Chicago, where the Cubs and the Brewers are freezing through a 1-0 game. A lot of crazy weather around. Colorado has been mountained out today, whatever kind of climate they're getting up there. So here's Ryan Howard.
Wait, they were mountained out?
Yeah, it's up in the mountains, you know.
Well, then they would never play.
Yeah, something coming off the mountains. I know there's been a lot of snow and sleet in the area north of them. And that's that swing back fastball that Roark looks for all the time. .82, good changeup.
And I think when you talk about his last start, we mentioned the swing back fastball a lot, but the changeup was fantastic. You just saw a good example, mirroring his fastball, only about 10 miles an hour slower.
There's the curveball. Ryan Zimmerman gets a belt high hop and takes it to the bag for the first down. So Tanner, after getting that caught stealing on Herrera, throws ground balls to Galvis, Franco, and Howard. Didn't give up a run, walked 3 guys, 15 strikeouts. Quite an effort. 121 pitches. You'll do that when you have that many Ks. And as you mentioned, you chronicled through that game a lot of taken strikes, not just swinging and missing, but guys not even able to pull the trigger.
It was just the perfect storm. He had all of his stuff. His pitches were all electric, and he was against a strikeout team. It all lined up.
Next up for the Phillies, Cameron Rupp. 0 for 3 career against Roark, 1 for 4 this series. Pretty much splitting time with Carlos Ruiz right now. And the 0-2.
I just found it. 31 of his 78 strikes were taken or called that game. 14 were swinging, and the rest were obviously fouled off or put into play.
That's really interesting. Good run back action there, freezing the hitter. 94 miles an hour. 2 outs in the second.
Well, that's the pitch, and he got the feel for it probably the second inning of his last start. There it is again. Off the plate. Rupp gives up. Strike 3.
Cesar Hernandez.
Boom.
4 for 7 on RBI, a walk in the series. He's 2 for 2 against Tanner career. Well, he's got a good hook going right now. And the 1-2. Well, you can really see the movement on that fastball moving away from the left-handed batter.
So, you know, I always kind of say that Tanner Roark reminds me of Greg Maddux with that swing back fastball.
Yes, sir.
Maddox's career high strikeouts was 14 in a game.
Well, take that, Greg.
2001 against the Brewers.
Two-two. Wow, really close. Mercedes-Benz will give us the entire AB here. And another strikeout. This a swinging bat. And so Roark faces the minimum 6, even though he walked the first guy of the game.
Park still scoreless as we head bottom 2. I was talking shop with Daniel Murphy the other day, talking to him about his approach and kind of how he game plans for his at-bats. And he told me kind of one little interesting tidbit. He doesn't just take into account how pitchers that he's going up against have attacked him in the past. He also looks at how the opposing catcher has attacked him. What type of approach that catcher takes, pitch sequences, things like that. He says you face the opposing catcher more than you do the opposing pitcher, and if you figure out his tendencies and patterns, you can really help yourself. So there are probably a lot of hitters out there who focus exclusively on the pitcher. Daniel Murphy kind of goes to that next level. He's focusing on the backstop as well to see how the catcher might be trying to get him out.
That's a great thought. Thinking man's hitter, huh? Tendencies at both ends of the battery. 2 for 6 with a walk in this series, and that's Dan with our Coons.com sideline report.
He screamed across to Carlos Ruiz the other day, "You've been trying to walk me for 6 years. Today I'm just going to go to first." So yeah, he definitely knows how catchers, especially in your own division, are going to work you. And
by the way, over 2 million vehicles sold and counting at Coons. Go ahead.
And you'll get a feel the second or third game of a series when you're playing, you know, the Central or the West, how a team's going to work you. But if you can think along and you remember, say, how Buster Posey works you, when you have the everyday catchers, the established guys, you can get a rhythm with those guys.
Nola's got a good hook going. That thing can start out way outside and still be a strike. The young shortstop of St. Louis taking over for the injured Johnny Peralta is raking. Aledmys Diaz, who played 5 years in Cuba as a youngster. Murphy pulls it on the ground. Cesar Hernandez.
The one guy, even from up here, I've never been able to figure out is Yadier Molina.
You and a lot of guys.
Yeah,
huh?
he's just kind of a mind reader back there. Tough to think with. See Nola blowing smoke out there? It's cold.
Jason Worth. Phillies have struck him out 4 times. He's 0 for 7 this series. A couple of hits, though. A home run against Nola. And that fastball high. But other than this series having his way with his former ball club, 1-1 pitch. Let's go inside the numbers with our friends from PNC. Aaron Nola's career, as we mentioned, bad numbers against the Nats, pretty solid against every other big league team he has faced. Heads up to a 7-4 with a 3.82 ERA. There's that breaking ball, Worth frozen, 2 outs.
Flex plans are back. The choice is yours. Pick 4 games starting at just $80. Plus, we'll throw in a free Nationals grill item. Visit nationals.com/flex to buy your flex plan today.
Stephen Drew, 1 at bat. That was last night. A pinch hitting appearance with 1 out, 8th inning, popped up to short. 3 hits as a Nat, a solo home run. And as FP mentioned, one of the great at bats of the 16-inning game the other day, and almost got us out of here early, relatively speaking. Nola running that fastball away.
That sinker's got so much arm side run to it. I think Bryce Harper had the right approach for left-handers today. Don't try to pull this guy.
They're not shifting on Drew. Then he goes straight change with 83. Good looking pitch. Out to right center. Approaching the scoreboard, and it won't quite make it to the track. You're going to have to really tag one to leave this yard today. Herrera took care of it. Harper has the game's only hit.
As we head to the top of the 3rd inning, it's time for Toyota K's for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. $555 last start for Tanner Roark. That's
Cha-ching.
That's a Bob Carpenter tip to the bellman with his luggage.
Well, it is a 10-day trip. Here's David Lowe, Aaron Nola, Peter Borges then here in the top of the 3rd inning. And David Lowe in the series 0 for 3 with a walk. He got a start here on Tuesday night. This one right up behind the infield, straightaway center. Matt Dendecker came in, but Danny Espinosa had made the call, and Matt peeled off. All right, this is the road trip a lot of people have been talking about. A gauge on where our ball club is starts tomorrow night. St. Louis has a night game at Arizona tonight, by the way. Day games on Saturday and Sunday, then on to Kansas City. You see the night games there, a day game next Wednesday with the world champions, and then on to Wrigley Field, and 3 out of those 4 will be day baseball. So 6 day games on the 10-day trip.
Some would say, see what they got road trip. It's a good gauge for those clubs, too.
To the left side, Drew. 2 down. So the Nationals' first 20 ball games, most of them in the National League East, against ball clubs with losing records. And as I mentioned earlier, Washington's 11-6 in the division, so they've had a lot to do with that. And now the next 10 will be against 3 playoff teams. One that went to the LCS in the National League last year, the Cubs, before the Mets got them, and then the Royals, who went all the way. Ryan Zimmerman waiting for one, and Tanner Roark is a quick pitch out machine, a 5-pitch 3rd inning, and this one is still scoreless.
House is on the bereavement list, gets his first start today, and challenged right out of the gate. Odubel Herrera walked to start the game off, then he steals, and watch the pick by Danny Espinosa. He doesn't only pick it, he puts the tag on, he blocks Herrera with his foot. They would review it. Originally called safe. Dusty says, put the headsets on, man. You missed that one. And Dusty Baker on fire, 3-0 in his last 3 challenges. But it's got to make you as a young player feel good, right? Throw somebody out of the game. We'll see what he's got at the plate right now.
Yep. Well, hats off to the folks here for this one. Last time the team will be home until Monday, May 9th, against the Tigers. Start of a 6-game homestand against both of the teams Miguel Cabrera has played for. Tigers, Marlins. Pedro Severino was called up September 1st last year. After hitting .246 at AA Harrisburg. With the Nats, he appeared in 2 games. Got his first big league hit. He was 1 for 4.
I think there's a Scherzer Zimmerman lined up for that series, too.
That's what we're hearing. Severino was hitting .244 with a couple of RBIs in 13 games for the Syracuse Chiefs when the Nats called him up Monday, actually Tuesday, as Wilson Ramos had to leave the ball club for the death of his grandfather. We wish Wilson and his family well and a safe return from Venezuela. Severino, Roark, and Dendecker here, bottom of the 3rd. There's that running fastball. I tell you, we saw Pedro. He doesn't get cheated. He's an aggressive hitter, kind of like the way he plays behind the plate as well.
I remember one at bat last year where he hit a low line drive off a left field wall here at Nats Park. what's sticking in my head.
Front door breaking ball, and he takes a swipe at that one.
He's amped up, isn't he? Check out. He's got enough energy for all 8 other guys in the lineup right now.
22 years of age, 6'2", 200. Signed with the Nats at the age of 17 in 2010. And this one in the air, short center. Going out Galvis. He'll wave everybody off with the windmill, and that's one out, bottom of the third. Tanner Roark and Matt Dendecker now, the next two. Tanner this year 0 for 5 with a walk and a sacrifice. Trying to join this pitcher's hit parade. All the starters have at least one hit. Gio has one. Scherzer, Strasburg 3. Joe Ross has. Pardon me. Ross and Strasburg have 3. Scherzer has 2.
These guys work hard at it. It's not like they just take that lightly. Mike Maddox has really emphasized how much you can help yourself as a pitcher every 5th day. Whether it's a bunt, a base hit, see some pitches up there.
Yeah, then we saw over the weekend how important guys can be if you have a long ball game. Joe Ross had a pinch hit in the 10th inning. Count 2-2. Front door curveball gets him. Third K by Aaron Nola, 2 of them called, and that was similar to the one on which he struck out Jason Worth. Here's Nissan.
Kind of backs up a little bit. I think Tanner Roark was expecting that to break over the plate. It went the other way.
So 2 out of every 3 hitters first time around see first pitch strikes, and the Nats go 1 for 9 with the Bryce Harper forget the shift left side base hit. Strike 1 to Dendecker. And that a fly ball to right to start his day. And that one pulled right down to Ryan Howard. So the pitchers continue to rule in this series. No score, middle innings coming up. Inning of Nationals baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com today.
That's Bryce Harper's hat that he designed right there that's on sale in the ballpark.
Yeah, Las Vegas. Hats left, throws right. The All-Star Game stuff. Silver Sluggers, MVP.
I'll take one, Bryce. Thanks. Appreciate it.
He would trade that for a Masson ball cap in a moment.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe a Masson polo even. I could see him wearing one on the plane for sure.
He would have one heck of a road trip if he did. Here's Odubel Herrera, who walked and was caught stealing first time. Low and away from Tanner Roark, who faces 9 batters. First time around, the Phils went 0 for 8 with a walk, and the battery, with help from the shortstop, erased that, and that was Herrera, who has now walked 22 times this year. And pitchers can't buy a strike against this guy.
Maybe they're focusing on his dislocated front ankle as he steps in the box and it's throwing him off. I mean, one of the most, I guess, unique original stances in all of baseball. Watch his front ankle when he sets himself. It looks like it's double jointed.
What, does he get wide open? Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable to look at that.
It is. Don't focus on the double jointed front ankle stance.
Yeah. You know, but I know he has 10 career home runs. Still a young guy. He was pretty much in the minor leagues this time last year.
It's just not right.
And there's a foul ball that rifles into the screen right over the Phillies dugout. Would have been into the seats last year, and that stopped it.
They got the bat away from the screen.
The bat is gone.
Somebody picked it off there.
Spider-Man came and helped us out for that one. 2-2 with nobody out. Right in there. Herrera strikes out for the 18th time this year, and Tanner Roark his 3rd of the day.
He's got such a good touch and a good feel for that two-seam fastball. I mean, maybe we can show a replay throughout the course of the game that shows it halfway and then shows it the rest of the way, because when you have to make your decision to hit, I mean, it's coming right at you if you're a left-hander. There's no way you can pull the trigger.
Then he starts this lefty Galvis off with a breaking ball. I had a chance to interview Greg Maddux years ago in Atlanta before a ball game, and he said he tried to throw the best pitch in baseball to start off every hitter. I said, well, what's that?
Strike one.
He said a fastball with movement for strike one.
All right.
And there's that breaking ball that gets a fly ball to left for Jason Worth. So Tanner Roark's got it going on again today, folks, in a bit of a different fashion, but this fashion will save him a whole lot of pitches. And Maikel Franco is up with 2 outs in the 4th.
I mean, the time it takes a 90+ mile an hour fastball to get to home plate is 400 milliseconds. It takes your brain 100 milliseconds to process the pitch. So basically you have 300 milliseconds to figure out whether you're going to swing or not. And a swing itself takes 150 milliseconds. So you're talking about a blink of an eye basically is the time you have to decide whether you're going to swing at a 90+ mile an hour fastball. And if that 94 mile an hour fastball is starting right at you, your first thought in that 400 milliseconds is it's going to hit me, and you don't have time to even think about firing off a swing. That's why that front hit fastball to lefties is so insanely effective. And here it is. I mean, your first thought is, watch where this starts. It's coming at me, or it's going to be off the plate in. I'm giving up on it. And look at the light swing back.
That one's swinging back, but evidently not enough.
That's why it's so hard to hit. That's why these guys get paid lots of money to hit.
And that's one that he started off actually on the plate, and then it dove down and in, resulting in the foul tip.
It takes the brain 100 milliseconds to process an image. The average swing takes 150 milliseconds.
Three and two, bases empty. Ryan Howard on deck. And a chopper foul right by the third base coach, a former Rookie of the Year, Juan Samuel. Well, he was some kind of talent. First year was 84. Power, speed. What a good ball player. 3-2 pitch. Just outside. Roark's second walk of the day. That'll get Ryan Howard into the batter's box here in the fourth. He rolled over a ground ball to Ryan Zimmerman first time up. Big shift is on here. It's Murphy out in right field. Now that I see where Daniel Murphy plays and most other second basemen, it makes you appreciate the arm of Danny Espinosa, because Danny used to play deeper than anybody on a shift out into right field and still had the gun to get it to first base. Oh, 1 with 2 outs. That's a changeup that ran outside. Beautiful.
Yeah, brain's telling you that's going to be in. Last second it comes back. You just have to force yourself to swing, but if you do, it's so hard to keep fair.
That one a little bit up. Counts even 2-2. Long look. And Howard will inside out a ball to left field on a hop to his former teammate. Ryan Howard out to Jason Worth. And the Phillies have 2 on. That's their first base hit. Cameron Rupp struck out looking first time. 27-year-old Phillies catcher. Played a career high 81 games last year, hit 9 homers, drove in 28. And against Tanner Roark, 0 for 4, including today's strikeout. High chopper. Murphy calmly waits for it. Took him a second to get it out of his glove. And the Phillies strand their first 2 runners of the day. No score. Bryce Harper has the Nats' only hit. Espinosa before Bryce, and then Ryan Zimmerman. President's race. Looks like Teddy's making up some ground on Abe there. Been kind of a sluggish year for Honest Abe. George and Tom in pursuit, and Teddy finishing strong. He's gotten better at that over the last few years, and he gets to hoist the belt today.
Ever since he's got a taste of winning, he's just, he's changed.
By the way, Bill and Herbie, not very good mutters, evidently. We're going bottom of the 4th. Aaron Nola, 39 pitches, 28 strikes, only 1 hit. Bryce Harper's opposite field single with 2 outs in the first through a shifted infield. And first up, it's Danny Espinosa, and then we'll see how they play Bryce.
I'd see a base hit bunt attempt here towards second base. Wet grass out there. Ryan Howard doesn't get around as quick as he used to.
Espinosa, slow bouncer right side. Cesar Hernandez, 1 pitch, 1 out. So for more on the offense, here's Dan.
Bob, Bryce Harper with the Nationals' only hit today, and it's largely been him, Daniel Murphy, and Wilson Ramos for the Nationals to begin this season. Added up their numbers, the 3 of them hitting .344 combines and OPS over 1050. You look at the rest of the Nationals hitting below the Mendoza line. with on bases and slugging percentages of under 300. Now, Dusty Baker certainly has confidence that guys like Ryan Zimmerman, Anthony Rendon, Jason Worth will get things going and start clicking. Obviously a small sample size early on as well, but through the first few weeks of the season, it's been Harper, Murphy, and Ramos for the most part.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. Nobody was talking about the offense a week ago, but when the Nationals opened up this homestand, about to have an 8-4 win over Minnesota, they were hitting .241. Team batting average going into today, .237. So it really hasn't dropped that much, but we know this is a ball club capable of hitting in the 260s or 270s.
Look at the shift, there's a little difference. That's why he tried to bunt first time up. Pete McCannon putting his shortstop at short.
That was a pull swing by Bryce, trying to hit one hard.
I think that's Freddie Galvis, and Michael Franco moved over toward a second base position, and then Cesar Hernandez back in right field. So a little modified action.
So if he, well, with 2 strikes now, may not chance it. I'm thinking, okay, if he hits a ground ball double down the third baseline, what do they do next time? But it's 0-2. And Bryce will take a fastball up. Harper now 22 hits and 67 at bats, hitting .328. His on base percentage in the top 7 in the league. That's sitting at about .445 right now. And that's a breaking ball. Bryce ID'd it, backed away. Phillies pitching has been good in this series. Their starters, not much against the bullpen either. Big curveball. Harper strikes out. That's number 4 for Aaron Nola.
Kind of dropped down on that one a little bit. Didn't have as much break as before, and that might have fooled Bryce Harper a little bit. Good pitch.
And Bryce right over the top of it. Again, the Philly outfield. Around to the right some for Ryan Zimmerman, who bounced out to Hernandez, the second baseman. First time. So this is Aaron Nola's second start against the Nats in this ballpark, and he's now getting close to 9 innings on 7 hits and no runs. The Nats just hammered him so badly in Philadelphia a couple of times out. It really inflated those numbers, but he's evidently a lot more comfortable in a fair park instead of the bandbox up there. 0-2 pitch.
Fastball to get back to the curveball, you'd think. A lot of off speed away for Ryan Zimmerman in this series from the Phillies.
There's another one. Man, that thing's got some break to it. Changes planes, goes down and goes outside. He has 5 Ks, no score.
Cox's new contour. Get right to the good stuff. That's always been my motto. No scores. We go to the top of the 5th. Let's play. Where is this ball going from Tanner Roark? I'm going to say it's going to come back. It's a 2-seamer. It does. All right. Where's this?
I had it a foot outside.
Where's this one going? Up, down, there. It's a curveball. How about this one? Way inside, right? I'm going to take that one. The 2-seam fastball, deadly for Tanner Roark here today.
Great job, guys. And I like the fact that they did it in real time, although the pause adds a little. But, you know, the X mode can make it look like, well, how come the hitter can't hit that? And your numbers on reaction time and all that, pretty amazing.
Bryce Harper actually sees that pause every at-bat. He has that in his brain.
Yeah.
That's how slow.
D. Gordon sees that.
I don't know if I guess.
You know, he gets a lot of hits.
Certain guys the game just moves a little slower for.
One ball, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Roark struck him out first time swinging. That swing back heater was upstairs.
It's a good pitch.
A long hold by Severino and a look by Ted Barrett. Ball 3. Kept that one down to his left. It's off Espinosa. Not an easy play. It's a wet track. Let's see how the official score looks at that.
I think if you see the whole ground ball, it was an inside-out swing by Hernandez. And you know how line drives tail back to left fielders? They're in the gap. That ground ball actually tailed back to Danny Espinosa, and he might have overran it. Watch see how it's coming back to him? And he was reaching way out, and the ball was actually closer to him than he thought because of the inside-out rotation.
It's a knock for Cesar Hernandez. There's David Lowe, the left fielder. The Nationals still continue to have the fewest errors in the league, just 6. Pretty good total for the first 20 games of the year. Lowe, a pop up to Espinosa first time. Pretty good lead by Hernandez. He's going. And a hack out to center. Fly ball for Dendecker. Hernandez spotted the ball. Gets back to the bag. 1 out. Yoga in the outfield.
There they are.
Following the Nats Marlins Sunday, May 15th. To purchase your special ticket, visit nationals.com/yoga.
They've been there for over a month and a half, have not moved. They're enjoying the ball game.
There's that breeze coming in from the east. Contact on that ball right now. Just the very top of the Capitol Dome is visible to us on this drizzly, foggy Thursday afternoon, late April.
It's like we're in Seattle or something.
Yeah. Nola bouncing ball to the third baseman Drew first time. Lays down another one, foul off to the right. Yeah, when when coffee with cocoa makes it to Seattle, that'll really be a big deal a couple of years from now.
Yeah, that was great today. Sat down with Max Scherzer on top of the dugout, talking about all kinds of good stuff. I enjoyed that on the pregame show.
Well done, Dan.
Not our pregame show, the real one.
That's a great block by Severino. Tanner just burying the curveball on 0-2.
Nice job sliding out there, going to his knees, creating the angle with the chest protector, keeping it right there. That's textbook for all you young catchers. That's how you block a baseball. It's perfect.
He's here because Wilson Ramos is away from the ball club.
I wonder who his next guest is going to be. Coffee with cocoa.
Classified.
I think you should call it Irish coffee with cocoa. That would be good.
Oh boy.
Now we get some real questions.
Two balls, two strikes, a runner aboard. Double play in order here. And Tanner Roark. Against the opposing pitcher, it's now gone to 3-2. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Severino another bullet, but the ball got to him too late to throw out Cesar Hernandez, who steals his second base of the year in 6 attempts. 2 outs.
Pretty good jump by Hernandez right here. Tanner Roark focusing on throwing a strike. I think if Pedro Severino came out right there, he had a chance to make contact with Aaron Nola. You see, Nola came across the plate. If you come out and make contact right there, it's a double play. Watch this. Watch where he goes after the swing. No contact made, but if he initiates that contact, you get the double play.
Wow, a hot shot to Drew. He's going to make the tag.
That's just bad base running right there. My goodness.
That kills the inning for the Phillies. If Hernandez stays, that's an infield hit for Peter Borges. I mean, this was a bullet. Barehanded with the tag.
He tried to sneak by there, couldn't do it. Heads up play by Stephen Drew. Wow. A couple of times. It's an aggressive mistake by Cesar Hernandez. Maybe not the worst base running, So back off the original call a little bit. He's thinking score with 2 outs, and he's thinking that ball's getting by Stephen Drew. And on the wet infield, we're seeing the ball skip. It's playing so fast. It's like these guys are playing on ice right now because of the damp nature of the day, and Stephen Drew just knocks it down. Heads up play, gets up, bare hand, makes the tag. So yeah, an aggressive mistake by Cesar Hernandez. That's not bad base running because he was thinking I'm going to score with 2 outs, and he was also thinking that ball was going to get by Stephen Drew.
And you know what? It did get by his glove. That was really hot shot action at the hot corner. And here's our Honda do-up and what they've done against Aaron Nola. So that play saved a run. Murphy ground ball to the right side first time. Daniel in the series 2 for 7 with a walk, and that's way outside. On the edge. Only Yadier Molina at 467 has a higher home batting average than Daniel Murphy. He'll stroke one out to left center, but as we mentioned in this ballpark, left fielders play so far off the line. Sometimes your only chance for a double is right down the line. So if the Nats win and win big, everybody does. They have to win and score 7 or more, and you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com by entering promo code NATS50. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official pizza of your Washington Nationals, and that's valid at participating DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia locations. In fact, the Nats high for hits in this series against the Phillies is 7. 2 last night and just 1 today. Worth, nice compact swing. Got some good wood on that one. And the Nats have their second base hit.
Now Jason Worth's, I think, last at bat last night, he struck out in the 7th, and he took 2 hacks in that at bat that you saw the old Jason Worth swing, where he was really on top of the baseball. He fouled a couple back, but right there you can see him. He sees the middle of the infield. He knows they're playing him to pull. He fights to get his hands inside the baseball. It's a good swing. That's one to build on, and he's close. Real close.
Stephen Drew, fly ball to center first time. In this series, the Nats have 1 inning where they had more than 1 hit, and that was Tuesday night, started by a Max Scherzer single. Harper and Zimmerman RBI hits later in the inning that tied that game. The Phillies eventually won 4-3.
This is where Dusty Baker loves to hit and run. I know it's getting toward the bottom of the order, but you know, a couple days where his offense is a little stagnant, he'll spice it up, so to speak, with a hit and run every now and then, just to try to get everybody going. 1-0 count. You got a strike thrower out there. Let's see. Never know.
Worth starts and then stops. Looked like a good check, and it was by Drew to get the count to 2-0. And a curveball got in on his hands. Howard to Nola for the second out with Jason Worth going to second.
May 28th, you can celebrate DC's international community with Taste of the World with a special ticket. Enjoy a pregame culinary experience and take home a set of Nationals salt and pepper shakers. Visit national.com/special ticket events to buy today. another gut, Mom.
Some cheese on those fries, and then some. I'm predicting chili.
I'm predicting defibrillators.
When in doubt, put on chili. It'll make anything better. Pedro Severino looking for his first big league RBI here. But the pitchers on deck, we'll see how aggressive they are. The front door curveball stays inside. So Pedro, .235 minor league hitter in 5+ years.
He's going to be tough to pitch around right here. He's thinking 1-0. He's not thinking, hey, they're pitching around me to get to the pitcher. He wants to expand the zone here and get a hit.
In the minor leagues, defensively, his career caught stealing number 38%. Got a running fastball there and pulled it. When you have inside, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. So his career in the minor leagues actually upped that batting average by a couple of points this year by hitting .244 at Syracuse. He's 22, 6'2", 200. And we think a bright future ahead. No score, bottom of the 5th. Under these conditions, get the lead. Could be huge. And now Nola calls out his catcher, Cameron Rupp.
I mean, it's a dangerous time because you have the pitcher on deck. You have a free swinger at the plate. So you're ahead 1 and 2. You don't really have to throw a strike here for a few pitches, if any.
Tanner Roark still hunting his first base hit of the year. Big curveball for the strikeout. 6 on the day for Nola. Tanner Roark has 4. Guys matching up really well. To the top of the 6th inning. Whatever it takes on a cool, rainy day.
Human popcorn. All right. Text unscrambled answer to 29292. I just can't even get through these anymore. I wonder what this one is. Oh, they're trying to throw you off. Is it Zimmerman?
Yeah. Where's the Z?
I don't. Yeah, it's Zimmerman.
Anyway, you can text your answer to 29292. You might win a Nats prize pack from Masson, brought to you by PNC Nationals debit card. So log on pnc.com/Nationals card to learn about amazing Nats benefits.
Give me a few on that one.
Okay.
I think it was too short to be Zimmerman. Was that Roark?
Too long to be Drew. Odubel Herrera, a walk and a strikeout. Top of the 6th, no score.
Maybe it was Odubel.
0-2-0, both teams. Phillies have left 3. The Nats have stranded 2. Ball 2. Only other one game in progress in there at Wrigley. And yeah, the Cubs are winning again. They're about to go 16-5 ahead of Milwaukee 7-1 late. Nice. Took that curveball, just dropped it to the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Mercedes-Benz will have a look.
Curveball's been good all day too. Just to keep you honest with that front hip sinker. Struck him out on that comeback sinker last time up. See if he goes to it.
Yep. Herrera ready for it. Gashes it to the unscrambled guy in right field. 1 out.
Wait, what?
Harper.
Way to ruin it for everybody, Bob.
You know, you're not giving our audience much credit there, FP. Ryan Howard, a base hit to left in the 4th, and Cesar Hernandez one off the glove of Danny Espinosa. 1 inning later. A couple of walks, and that's been it. Another brilliant outing so far by Tanner Roark.
Oh, so much movement on that two-seamer. Nola as well. I mean, we got a pair of pitchers today with a lot of run on their fastballs.
Yeah, talk about fastball curveball guys today. This up the middle. Danny Espinosa will scoop it, and from near the bag, 2 down. That's 8 ground ball outs for Tanner Roark. Maikel Franco has hit 1 of them. That was to Murphy up the middle back in the 1st on the shift, and he walked his next time up. Front door curve, stayed inside. Late break on that.
Swung out of his helmet. I mean, this guy does not get cheated. You have to love the way he swings the bat. I mean, he's not trying for singles.
Whoa! And a fastball that sails over Franco. He hit the deck, and they were ducking in the first couple of rows back there as well.
Yeah, wet day. Maybe it slipped. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you swing out of your helmet. This is what happens. Who knows? You have to ask those guys down there.
Oh, and somebody lost a drink in the 2nd row and a ball that never got there. Hard sinker. Wow. 93, and Tanner Roark is just showing everything he's got in these last 2 starts. Two with 2 down. High fly ball to left. Jason Worth. Roark continues to dominate. All right, Tanner, you've got a bat. Do something about it. He'll lead off in a moment. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Well, nobody raking except the grounds crew right now. Waiting for that outburst, the Nats are. And we go bottom 6 with Roark, Dendecker, and Espinoza. Nats trying to score a run here for the first time in 19 innings. Strike one, generous call. Nats box. 2 outs in the first. Bryce Harper base hit through short, then he stole a bag. The Nats' next hit, Jason Worth, 1 out last inning. Made it to second base. And Roark goes hacking. Some kind of hook Aaron Nola is featuring today. 7 strikeouts. Let's go inside the numbers with Jeep. So the leadoff spot for the Nats, lowest in all of baseball at 208. Matt Dendecker getting the call today against a right-handed pitcher. But the absence of Ben Revere has been felt by this ball club.
5 months left to go in the season. That number is going to change.
I hope so. We know it will. Dendecker, fly ball to right, ground ball to first. So Nola takes 89 and turns it over on the left-handed hitter. Starting to see why this guy was a Phillies first-round pick just 2 years ago out of LSU. Two and one. Nola has not walked a batter on the year. Strikeout to walk number 37 to 5, counting today. There's a base runner with one out in the 6th inning. Espinosa and Harper, the next two.
Long look at the sign. Good at bat by Matt Dendecker. And this feels like last night. First team to score going to win.
That throw right into the runner.
Little lean there by Dendecker, and if you're wondering why Bob Henley puts a sign on every single time there's a throw over, it's because if you have a hit and run on or a steal on and the runner tips it off, it gives Dusty Baker the chance to either take it off or keep it on. So even though there wasn't a pitch, the third base coach giving a sign every single time there's a throw over. You're looking in there again. So if you had something on, do you keep it on? Do you take it off? All based on what everybody's looking at with Matt Dendecker at first.
Four in a row.
And Bob Henley will walk down the line, put another sign on, and we'll do it again. Looking at Dusty Baker.
Always ends with that one. Is that for outs, just to remind him?
Yep.
He goes. Didn't think they were going to do it 5 times. And Matt Dendecker is in there. So the Nats doing some running today. Dendecker's first of the year. 2 for 2. And Washington 11 out of 14 this year.
That was a hit and run. And the reason Dusty Baker put it on he gets antsy. He wants to get something going. You see Dendecker looking back right there to see if Espinosa made contact. He didn't, but Dendecker got such a good jump that he was able to beat the throw from Cameron Rupp. And Dusty Baker, we saw Bob Henley put the sign on, put the hit and run on because Matt Dendecker on the 4th throw over got back easily. He didn't jelly leg. He didn't lean toward second base and tip it off. He did a nice job of just getting back on the throw over. I mean, Pete Mackanin could have pitched out right there if Dendecker had a lean going, but he didn't. So that allowed Baker to put the hit and run on.
Good stuff. Espinosa pulls it. Ryan Howard, 2 outs. Dendecker to third. It's up to Bryce Harper.
It's up to Ryan Zimmerman. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. DC Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this season. So keep them coming. It's for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection. What do you got? Intentional walk? No.
Two bases open. We'll see how they play it here.
Well, if he wants to throw the curveball, there's always a chance it goes to the screen. Bryce Harper's not going to chase the curveball down.
And he struck out Bryce on a hook last time. That one placed up the middle. Well played by Hernandez. And he gets Bryce by a step.
Great play.
Cesar Hernandez. And his shortstop, Freddie Galvis, raising his arms in triumph after watching his middle infield partner make this play to keep it scoreless. came within step and a half of putting the Nats on top. And we're going to the top of the 7th, no score. Hey fans, MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service. Every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. And you get a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Blackout, other restrictions apply. MLB.TV. Here's Ryan Howard. 1 for 2 today. Grounder to Zimmerman, opposite field, base hit.
Wow.
Tanner's going to get a call that Ryan Howard did not like.
Well, he's been throwing strikes all day. Ted Barrett's used to calling strikes on both sides for both pitchers. And I don't know if that curveball came back. Severino set up outside and he had to reach. Take it.
A 1-2 pitch. Another fastball sails up and away.
Base hit was on a slider last time for Howard with 2 strikes.
Big hook to get him. Tanner Roark, strikeout number 5.
Wanted the curveball this time. Well, that was the sinker up and away to set up the curveball for strike 3. Here it is. Nicely done.
Rupp has struck out once. He's 0 for 2. Yeah, here on the Nats Mass and Telecast, we give you the setup as well as the strikeout pitch. I like it. Then a tight slider just outside, 2-0. In the air to right. Bryce Harper backing up, edge of the track. It's about as well as anybody's hit one today in 2 outs. That'll bring in Cesar Hernandez. Last time up, singled, stole a base, tagged out at third by Drew to end the 5th inning, but he's had some kind of series. 5 out of 8 with an RBI and a base on balls. Tanner Roark threw 121 pitches in 7 innings Saturday. Amazing, with 10 fewer strikeouts. Getting up in that range again. And now it's 9 fewer strikeouts. Number 6, Hernandez, nothing he can do. Ryan Zimmerman, Daniel Murphy, Jason Worth. It's 4-5-6. Be really happy if it was just 1 or 2-0. Tomorrow night, the gateway to the West and Busch Stadium hosting the Nationals. First of a 3-game series. Steven Strasburg, 3-0, 2.17 ERA. Yeah, buckled a hitter right there. And Strasburg has been brilliant so far. Mike Leake, not exactly that for St. Louis. He's 0-2 with a 5.64 ERA. And Leake is 3-3 career against the Nats. Check out the Potomac Nationals. They're home right now. Stars of the future, a half hour away. They will be wrapping up the homestand on Sunday. So actually Monday. So purchase your tickets 703-590-2311 or visit PotomacNationals.com.
Dusty Baker knows a thing or two about Mike Leake.
Yes, he does. Ryan Zimmerman goes up hacking, and the ball stays up long enough for Peter Borges to run it down. 1 out, 7th inning.
It's time to change seats, change cubicles, change lanes if you're in traffic right now watching on your,
or if you're bowling,
iPhone. Mix it up a little bit. Why not?
Daniel Murphy, maybe a couple of offers this year. That's about it. Lined out hard last time out to left center. And David Lowe, the Phillies left fielder, continues to play him out towards that gap. So a ground ball pulled and a line drive hit the other way with authority. 0 for 2. Murphy high in the air, right center to the scoreboard. And then it falls short, caught by Herrera.
Huge ballpark today.
Wow. Yeah, that's right into the teeth of that wind.
I mean, he cured that one. That's as good as you can hit a baseball. And then you saw Herrera go back to the track and actually come in on it. I mean, he was hunting something middle in, looking to do damage. You can tell by the swing, and he thought he got him. I did too. And then you remember what a cold, damp day it is. You see the flags blowing in from right, and you realize that you got to hit a low one to get it out of here today. That's all Daniel Murphy could do. Crush that ball.
Got to credit the fans over the scoreboard begging that ball to reach them. And now here's Worth. And a 3-pitch, now 4-pitch inning for Nola. 2 outs, bottom 7. Longest inning the first, and that's because Harper singled and stole a base. That ball hit sharply to Galvis at short. And right into the 8th inning, this Aaron Nola, Tanner Roark scoreless duel goes.
Nats Park. I'm going to show you some defense today. Both pitchers on point, working fast, throwing strikes. That always equals good defense. Could have been a key to this game in the first inning. Odubel Herrera walked. Dusty said put the headsets on. Danny Espinosa with a great pick. Stephen Drew with a great pick and a heads-up play to get Cesar Hernandez going into third base. And then this one, shocked they pitched to Bryce Harper last inning. He almost made him pay. Hit the ground ball up the middle. You see the frustration from Bryce. He thought he had a base hit and an RBI, but Hernandez making a nice play. So that's where we're at, 0-0 after 7.
And Sean Kelly into the ball game.
Fastball slider. You saw he throws the slider more than the fastball. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Opponents hitting .217 against Sean Kelly.
Got a couple of outs in the ball game. 7th inning on Tuesday night. Pitcher spot is due up 3rd. Actually, the pitcher spot is due up 2nd because they're hitting him 8th, and Emmanuel Burris is no longer next. He's right now.
But you know, everyone talking about the 121 pitches for Tanner Roark last start, and we said, hey, it was cruise control 121. It wasn't like he was really fighting any jams out there, redlining it, and you wondered how he would fare today. Well, you see, that's why don't get so caught up in a pitch count. What kind of pitches are they? He was marvelous again here today.
So Manny Burris 1 for 18 as a pinch hitter. That one hit in 9 at bats. Tries to pull one with him. Problem is he hit it right down the line hard for Ryan Zimmerman, who makes the tag. 2 outs. Well, that got Nola out of the game. 77 pitches, 54 strikes in his 7 innings.
I wonder what this trip's about right here. We got a pinch hitter up. Is that what it is? I don't think so, right? Well, Borges is up.
Yeah, they just pinch hit for the pitcher, batting 8th.
Maybe to get that guy loose just in case the inning keeps going. There you go. To face Odubel Herrera. A couple of quick outs.
Yeah, 2 lefties, Perez and Rivero.
I got it. Took me a second, like the word scramble, to figure that one out. Might have been Kelly.
I didn't see a Y.
That's right.
First pitch fouled straight back. Peter Borges 0 for 2, 1 for 10 in the series. And the 1-1 is a great looking slider.
It could have been a nasty cutter.
Yeah, had some downward movement to him. There. Unhittable.
Maybe he'll throw another nasty cutter.
Oh, I get it. I get it. You see everything. I'm more tunnel vision here. Hitter, batter, catcher. It is one of the great behind the home plate signs ever. Where were they when Mariano Rivera was pitching?
Wow, he could have been a chainsaw endorser. Mariano Rivera here for
chopped up a lot of hitters.
Chainsaws.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, Severino holds on a pitch up. So Kelly joins the strikeout parade. It's another 1-2-3. Nats pitching has retired the last 12 Phillies. Bottom of the 8th, something's got to give. Tough conditions out there, tough to hit the way both sides are throwing the baseball. And we've got a call to the bullpen for Dalier Hinojosa, brought to you by the UPS Store. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. Visit the upsstore.com for locations.
Well, this might be one of those days where anybody else but Aaron Nola, he was fantastic today. You see the arsenal for Hinojosa. Fastball 93, slider 86, changeup 87. I mean, both starting pitchers today pitching as well as you possibly can.
Yep.
Very impressive on both sides. Tanner Roark back in the rotation, taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, pair of 2 hitters through 7 innings by Roark and Nola. Nola walked 2. Tanner walked 1. Pardon me, other way around. And then Nola struck out 7. Tanner struck out 6. So the Nats, with some Jeep numbers on a struggling offense, 20 innings now without a run against the Phillies. Drew, Severino, and then probably Clint Robinson here in the bottom of the 8th. Stephen Drew 0 for 1 career against Dalier Hinojosa. First appearance of the series. Drops that one in for a strike.
Michael Taylor ready to go.
Clint Robinson, the only true lefty on the bench. So Michael A. Taylor along with Chris Heisey. Anthony Rendon getting the day off.
Well, everybody ready down there because there's, a possibility of different situations. First and second, nobody out would be somebody that can bunt. 2 outs, nobody on would be someone that can hit a home run. So Dusty Baker, all of his bench guys ready to rock and roll because you never know who you're going to call. That's why as a bench guy you have to manage along with the skipper so there's no surprises.
And Drew can't reach a fastball away. 1 out. 8th National down on strikes today. Severino, 2 at bats, pop up to short, swinging strikeout. Now it's Chris Heisey.
Good take, just missed.
And a good take on that slider away. .94 and a big time rip by the rookie catcher.
Hear Dusty Baker in the background there. I don't know if you could hear it at home. He said, keep your head on it. He's always chirping to the hitters down there, coaching in the middle of an at-bat, giving you good tips. You hear him in the background right there? That's the skipper.
$22,112 paid today. Two with one out. That time Pedro leveled off pretty well to stay alive. Six pitches on the Mercedes-Benz entire AB pitch track. 2-2 with one out.
Well, this is where if you're a young hitter, you push all your chips into the middle of the table on a fastball. If he throws you something else, whatever. I mean, bet on the heater, get the heater, get a strike, and let it rip.
Well, he takes it outside. Severino on first base with one out for Chris Heisey, who won the ball game for the Nats in the bottom of the 16th. He was already in the game.
Secret weapon. Take a full hack in the phone booth, and he goes deep, walks him off, and then just got a serious bucket of filth that never felt so good to Chris Heisey. His first ever walk-off homer. And look at Dusty Baker. Maybe one of the best games I've ever seen in the regular season. I mean, can you imagine if that was an October baseball game? It would be one of the greatest games in the history of baseball.
We have instant classics and we have instant insane classics.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of both on Sunday. Heisey, by the way, that's a pinch hitter, 1 for 3. And he has 2 homers for the Nats. Facing Dalier Hinojosa for the first time.
Great at-bat by Pedro Severino.
Yes, it was. Left-handed hitting Den Decker on deck. They have Elvis Araujo ready if needed. Heisey holds the bat up high a lot like Ryan Zimmerman does in his setup. Those are great pinch hitting numbers. Most pinch hits in baseball since '05 when he broke in. So Rivero and the closer waiting. Hinojosa's given up 1 home run this year. That's a breaking ball in the dirt, and a very good job by Cameron Rupp to keep Severino at first base.
Pete McCannon checking to see if the hit and run might be on here with a 1-1 count and 1 out.
A lot of hitting room right side. And Heisey off the glove of the pitcher. And a 1-4-3 for the second out.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if this would have got up the middle. What do you think? That might have been a 4-6-3 double play, and that might be a 90-foot gift for the Nats. Good at bat by Chris Heisey, hit it hard. But now the stage is set for Matt Dendecker, and the trainer's going to come out and see what's up. What do we got?
Yeah, I think that ball was tailing right to Cesar Hernandez. You're right.
Might have been a break for the Nats if they cash in right here. 1 run today is going to feel like 100.
Matt Dendecker, a walk last time, a stolen base. 0 for 2 today. Nats looking for their 3rd hit of the day in a huge spot that determines who goes ahead and who pitches the 9th inning. Phillies, by the way, have the top of their order due up.
You won't be able to hear Dusty Baker in the background in St. Louis, Kansas City, or Chicago. Tell you what, I'm watching Pedro Severino out there at second base. He is getting a really good secondary every pitch. He's working hard out there. You know, bigger secondary allows you to score on a hit. Some pretty good arms out there. Well, Herrera at least. But he's getting a big lead, a big secondary.
And the 0-2 with 2 outs. Close. Dendecker saw it low.
Catcher on second. Maybe they're thinking change the signs up. I don't know.
Are you always suspicious when a guy takes it like he knows it's coming? Because that was a borderline pitch and Matt just didn't bite at all.
No, I think you're suspicious if you see the runner on second doing something. I don't think Pedro Severino's doing anything, but that's what you look for in the runner.
And Decker takes another, and it's 2-2. See how costly that 1-out walk can be. Did he go? No, says Will Little down at third. And the Phillies thought Dendecker had committed. The count's now 3-2.
I didn't think he went. Maybe this replay shows different, but initially it didn't look like he went. No, he held.
He held.
Just a lousy single right here. A bat died a hero single right here.
Check swing, foul tip. Up the middle, off the pitcher. And he fans on the bare hand throw. So Dendecker makes it to first base. And a ball hit extremely hard.
I'll tell you what, Hinojosa has had a tough inning right here. And with Chris Heisey's line drive back at him, now Matt Dendecker. So some good luck on the Heisey swing back to the pitcher, and some bad luck right here. That was 1-0 Nats. He knocked that down and saved the run. He fanned on that part of it, but he kept this game 0-0 because that was heading towards center field, and it was 1-0 Nats. And I think he's done. They're going to the bullpen.
Yeah, 2 shots.
Good at bat again by Matt Dendecker. Just some bad luck as far as the RBI situation.
Elvis Araujo will not take much time to be ready because he's been warming up for a while. It'll turn Danny Espinosa around to the right side where he's 2 for 14 on the year. brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit dckiadealers.com to learn more. Bottom of the 8th, 2 on, 2 out. Anthony Rendon will bat for Danny Espinosa. So in the 9th, Rendon will probably go to 3rd and Drew over to short. And here's Elvis Araujo.
A fastball slider, 2-pitch guy, big time crossfire action. He'll step right toward the first baseline, throw across his body. 5 games, ERA at 2.70. Opponents hitting 250. Right-handers hitting 333.
And Anthony Rendon has not faced him before. Nationals have a runner at 3rd for the 2nd time today. Been a while since a Rendon RBI. He has 1 on the year. Play him straight away in the outfield. And he looks at a strike. And on that throw to first, Severino came down the line 4 or 5 steps.
Boy, that's a balk. Wow, did you see where he stepped right there? Nobody called it. I mean, he almost stepped home. I was looking for the pitch to the plate. That's how far he stepped to home. Wow. Watch where he steps. I mean, that's, you can hear a lot of guys in the first base dugout yelling balk.
Dangerously preoccupied with a runner at first with a guy at 3rd. Out of play to the right side. It's 0-2. Bryce Harper on deck. Now the big time 0-2 fight begins for Anthony Rendon here. 2 on 2 out, scoreless game, bottom of the 8th. Close enough to be hacking on 0-2. Harper has faced Araujo once and walked. Oh, Rupp holding it for a while. Ball 1.
Well, he had a little lean back to the dugout, did Elvis. He thought that was strike 3. Pitch track said it was outside, and it was.
That one further away, ball 2. And the count is full.
Well, here we go. 3-2, 2 outs. Runs at a premium here today. Pete McCannon telling Ryan Howard just to play right behind the runner.
Crowd been waiting all day for something to cheer about offensively.
Good hack.
Ball game started at 4:41 today after a 36-minute rain delay. Now we're into the 7 o'clock hour here. The Nats trying to salvage a game of this series. That may not sound great to you, but if they do, it's a 4-2 homestand. Rendon takes ball 4, and Harper will face the left-hander.
They're into it. Well, right man in the right spot. Good at bat by Anthony Rendon. Line is moving here in the 8th. Some good at bats. Chris Heisey with a good at bat. Pedro Severino with a good at bat. Den Decker, Rendon, now Bryce Harper. And these are the at bats that Bryce has even said as much. He feels the most relaxed with the bases loaded, because every time he comes up, pitchers are pitching around him. You're not sure, are they going to go after me? Are they going to pitch around me? 0-0 game, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. They have to pitch to Bryce Harper right here.
Yeah, lefty or not. Harper, as mentioned, 1 plate appearance against the left-hander Elvis Araujo, and that was a base on balls. This started with a 1-out walk to the rookie Severino. The Dendecker hit off the pitcher with 2 outs. And then a Rendon pinch hit base on balls. Bryce today 1 for 3 with an opposite field single. 24 RBIs, tied with Robinson Cano for the lead in all of baseball. '27 career at bats without a grand slam, and this year he's done it twice in his only 2 opportunities. So it's Severino, Dendecker, and Rendon.
Heads up on the ball in the dirt right here if you're Pedro Severino at third base. He might try to throw a better curveball right here and bounce it.
That's in there. 0-2. Got him on 3 breaking balls in a row. The Nats leave 3. They've stranded 6. And the shutout streak for the offense continues.
And I think it's time to give Tanner Roark a little love. The last couple of starts, he's been unbelievable. Coming off of the 121 pitch, 15 strikeout performance, he backs it up with 7 shutout innings today and giving up only 2 hits. on my card, only 3 balls were hit hard off Tanner Roark. So not only the strikeouts, but pitching to weak contact once again today. Back-to-back gems from Tanner Roark.
Anthony Rendon stays in, plays third base. And that shuffles Stephen Drew over to short here in the top of the 9th, with the Phillies having the top 3 guys up against Felipe Rivero. 11th appearance, 154 the ERA, 12 Ks in 1 out short of 12 innings. He has been electric.
Well, his changeup has been the difference this year. You know, you think of Rivero, you think of 98 and a nasty slider, but his changeup has been getting him a lot of swing throughs and weak contact.
Odubel Herrera 0 for 2 with a walk today. Herrera 1 for 6 against Felipe. He pitched a scoreless inning and 2/3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts here, finishing off the game when the Nats couldn't make the comeback and they lost 4-3. And the 1-1 is a fastball bolted right in there. Mid-90s, 1-2.
I mean, if it's a battle of the bullpens, you like the Nats' chances when you look at the Phillies bullpen with a 4.87 ERA on the year.
Right now they're warming up the right-hander Andrew Bailey, who's pitched in 1 game this year. And the fastball jams him.
I'll tell you what, Odubel Herrera is a tough out. The more you watch this guy play, the more you have to admire his ability to foul off tough pitches, go deep into counts, get on base. And he's a good player.
Yeah, as I mentioned, seeing more pitches per at bat than any player in the league. 4.82 coming in. And a breaking ball that he strokes up the middle. He was already on base 19 games in a row with a walk in the first inning. And now he is the potential lead run for the Phils.
I mean, that's no easy assignment, leading off an inning in a 0-0 game, top of the 9th off a nasty left-hander. Then the pitch before that he fouled off was just as impressive as the leadoff single.
Freddie Galvis, he can handle the bat. Rendon even with the bag at third already. Zimmerman prepared to charge if there's a square around. And that's a low throw that Ryan got on the short hop backhand side.
Good pick by Ryan Zimmerman. Nobody checked the baseball. It's got a scuff on it, and Felipe Rivero has it.
Yeah, that never happens anymore. Fastball up. When Severino, with the help of a great scoop by Danny Espinosa, gunned down Herrera in the first inning. First time he's been caught this year. He's 4 for 5.
Watching Papelbon down there, he's hot. You'd think if they bunt Herrera along, he would face Franco. But you never know. See how it plays out.
One. And Felipe out for a long walk after that pitch. Nobody out here in the 9th inning. Herrera has led off with a single. Rendon creeping forward at third. And that's a bunt foul. He's missed on a couple, and now it's 2-2.
Maybe trying to be a little bit too fine. He's got good wheels on first base. Anything down the first baseline will advance a runner. But when you're bunting mid to upper 90s, it can be tough.
Squaring early. In the dirt, and quite a block by Severino. 3-2.
Decision time for Pete Mackanin. Do you start the runner right here at a 3-2 count? Fake bunt hit. Good block. Keeping Odubel Herrera at first base. He checks the sign, and we'll see if he starts right here in a 3-2 count.
Yeah, contact guy in the box. Runners holding. Galvis may have swung at ball 4. Felipe still digging away at that push-off spot, third base end of the rubber there. A long pause. Threw him a strike. That ball is scorched, heading for the bullpen, and it's in play at the bottom of the wall. Herrera held it third by Juan Samuel. And the ball dribbles in on a double by Freddie Galvis. Second and third, nobody out.
Well, we've been talking about how the ball's not carrying at Nats Park all day today because of the cool weather, and Galvis with a short compact swing gets the barrel of the baseball and lets 95 do the work. Jason Worth with a good effort into the gap, but that ball hits the base of the wall. He had a long way to go, gets it in quick. See the read by Herrera. He was thinking score all the way. Juan Samuel held him at the last second. Phillies in business here in the top of the 9th, second and third, nobody out.
They're going to walk Michael Franco. And then it looks like Darren Ruff is going to hit for Ryan Howard, forcing Dusty to make a move.
And something Pete Mackanin's done a few times this year, pinch hitting for Ryan Howard. He had a talk with him early in the season, say, hey, it's good for you, it's good for the ball club. I know you're not used to it throughout your career, but you know, whatever's best for the team. And Ryan Howard's buying in. He said, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Ryan Howard only one at bat against Rivero career, 1 for 1 with an RBI. So here comes the right-handed batter. Here comes Dusty Baker to call on Jonathan Papelbon here in the top of the 9th inning. And at times since he's become a net, the Phillies haven't been very nice to Jonathan Papelbon. Couple of blown saves, one this year. Now he's got to try to keep this a tie game in the 9th. Mason, they are presenting the Nats Extra postgame show. When this one's over, Johnny and Phil from left field to join you to recap this one. And right now, it's a tough assignment for Jonathan Papelbon, a reliever's toughest appearance. Bases loaded, nobody out.
I see the Arsenal fastball slider split. And this is where Dusty Baker will tell everybody on the bench to think lucky, because that's what you have to be to get out of this one. Hope they hit it right at somebody. And then maybe you get a double play.
Darren Ruff 0 for 2 career against Papelbon with a base on balls. Infield in, nobody out. And he got a center cut fastball. Had a little late life on it. He fouled it off. So Herrera led off the inning with a single. Went to third on the big blow of this inning so far, the Freddie Galvis double. And then Michael Franco walked intentionally by Felipe Rivera, who left after 17 pitches, 9 strikes. Oh, 1. Late again.
Infield in, you got to cut down a run at the plate right here, no doubt.
And he got the strikeout. No appeal needed. Ted Barrett punches out Darren Ruff for the first out.
Well, just climbed the ladder, 3 fastballs to Ruff, and he went. So check that box. Keep thinking lucky.
Now it's the catcher Cameron Rupp, who against Papelbon is 0 for 1 career. Out of play. They're late for his heaters so far. Cameron Rupp today 0 for 3, taking strike 3, a ground ball and a fly to right against Tanner Roark, who is brilliant through 7.
Fastball looks like it's playing harder than 92, 93, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought I saw a little jump on the first one he threw to Ruff. It just had some late life to it. So now it's 0-2 to another hitter.
See if he tries to go higher and repeat what he just did to Ruff.
Slider. Good 0-2 pitch. Papelbon jumping with some body English, trying to get that call.
He likes the pitch. He knows it missed, but he was looking for the swing through strike 3. Pretty good frame by Severino to try to get that call.
2-2. And the heater hit to right, and that's trouble. Harper way back there, and it's over his head. Herrera scores. Galvis scores. Coming around third is Franco without a play. Yeah, they had to hold up a minute, so 2 Phillies score on that play. And just like that, Cameron Rupp makes it 2-0.
I think Ryan Howard's laughing at Maikel Franco. But he does a nice job of just driving this ball the other way. On a warm day, this might have been a grand slam. He hit this a ton. And Bryce Harper's on his horse. Ball tailing away from Bryce. Short hops the fence. And just like that, it's a 2-0 game. Still only 1 out.
Yeah, runners at second and third for Cesar Hernandez. Contact guy. Infield still in. Ball 1. Those runs charged to Rivero. Also responsible for the runner at third. And this one popped up on the infield. Drew has to retreat. Then the breeze blowing in from right center, moving that ball around. He had to circle his way around Angel Hernandez, the umpire. 2 outs.
Well, a lot of things going on right there. Twilight, wind, and a big second out.
David Lowe is next. 0 for 1 career against Papelbon. Up there hacking. Lowe 0 for 3 today. Nets, by the way, bottom of the ninth, 4, 5, and 6. Zimmerman, Murphy, and Worth. And that gets their closer, Jenmar Gomez, up, who has already saved 2 games in this series. Pretty good pick by Severino. That ball went splitting into the dirt. Up the middle, off Papelbon's glove. Here comes Murphy. Can't get it. Base hit, 3-0. RBI for David Lowe, his second as a Philly.
He might have tweaked his hamstring run to first base. More than tweak. He's in pain. Oh yeah, it grabs right there. Did he touch first base? Maybe he missed the bag. Must have just been a cramp. He looked like he was in serious pain. He looked like he blew out a step before the base. Does anybody have a shot behind Papelbon for this? No, that was ticketed for the middle.
Yeah, ball spun away from Murphy. So first and third, all 3 runs charged to Felipe Rivero, who did not retire a batter. Severino makes the block on ball 1 to Andres Blanco, the pinch hitter, who's 3 for 5 career against Papelbon, with a home run, 3 RBIs. Eighth Philly to bat in the inning is Blanco. And the heater up and away for a strike.
I'll tell you what, Cameron Rupp laying off that 2-strike slider that was close is the key to this whole inning. Papelbon tried to repeat with another slider that was an easier take. And then as a pitcher, you can't triple up on that pitch, so they had to go back to the fastball. And Rupp thinking along those lines as a catcher himself, like, they're not going to throw me 3 sliders in a row. Got a fastball, was all over it, and drove it over Bryce Harper's head. But the take on the first slider was the whole at bat.
Yeah. He had another hitter, 2 in a row, 0-2. That ball hit hard. Ryan Zimmerman.
Nice play.
Fantastic grab at the first base bag. He has been outstanding over there. So Ryan leads off. Murphy, then Worth, and the Nats will need a whole bunch more. Thank you, Phil Wood. Jonathan Papelbon pitches a complete inning, 2 hits, not charged with any runs. 1 strikeout, no walks, and now the Nats need to pull something out of their offense with Darren Ruff now at first base that they haven't been able to generate against the Phillies. Genmar Gomez has faced 7 batters in this series. He's retired 6 of them. Anthony Rendon has a base hit. Other than that, he has been a save guy.
A fastball slider changeup. Opponent's hitting 188. Fastball averaging 91 miles an hour. Get some
Zimmerman.
Some base runners on. See what happens.
Yeah, Ryan 0 for 1. Gomez got him on a taken strike to end the game last night. Ryan's only career matchup against the right-hander. He has come out in this series, the 28-year-old from Venezuela, and been ahead of just about every hitter. Tomorrow night in St. Louis, Steven Strasburg, Mike Leake. That's extra 7:30. Start of that road trip. Zimmerman fights it off. Base hit. Got his hands inside that ball, and Ryan gets his 2nd hit of the series. So the 9th starts well for Ryan, and now it's Murphy and Worth.
All right. Couple more base runners. See what happens.
Daniel Murphy today 0 for 3. 4 for 10 career with 3 RBIs against Genmar Gomez. In this series, 2 for 9 with a base on balls. He took a little bit off and missed by a wide margin. Ball 2.
Well, 3 days in a row for Genmar Gomez. We'll see if the first 2 days have taken a toll.
And that's on the edge. 2-1.
I'll tell you what, Daniel Murphy's body language is better than Yunel Escobar's after pitches that he doesn't think are strikes, and he thought that was outside. And he has a running conversation with umpires every night, and it just shows you how into it he is every single pitch.
That's going to be over the plate. Fastball with some run to it. He had a big time gripe on that one.
Yeah, that was a strike. Pitch number 3. Did you
Gomez tried to go in there again. Was that Murph who said no?
Yeah, he's like, no, 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 no. You could hear him after the pitch. He's looking back to see. Can you hear him? Pretty close to coming back. Well, maybe that's a makeup call for pitch number 3. Or maybe he talked Ted Barrett into that one. Who knows?
Yeah, serious swing back action on that heater.
I don't think Ryan Zimmerman is going anywhere down by 3. Just a hunch.
3-2. Three-two pitch with nobody out. And he hits one to right. Going back, Borges. And he's got it right up against the right field wall. Well, Pete mentioned ballpark playing bigger than big. And Murphy's hit 2 balls today that would have had shots to be home runs.
Well, they both would have been home runs on any other day. The wind's blowing in straight from right field today. He's pured the last 2 balls he's hit. One to right center, this one more to pull side. And I'm thinking 3-2 ball game, and I know you were at home. I can't believe this ball stayed in here. At least off the wall, you're thinking, but nice play by Peter Borges, going back, jumping at the last second, even hit his glove against the wall and still makes the play. Kind of how this day's gone for the Nats. 2 great at-bats by Daniel Murphy. Last 2 times up, nothing to show. Actually, last 3 times. He lined out to left the second at-bat.
Yeah. Here's Jason Worth. 1 for 3. And against Gomez's career, 1 for 2 with a double. And double takes by everybody in the Philly battery there. Rupp and Gomez thought they had strike 2. It's 1-1. So the Nats trying to score for the first time in 22 innings. A lot of room left field line. Left center. Anything to get another base runner here. Target is outside edge. Gomez misses further away. Ball 2. Yeah, Papelbon got rough on the strikeout. Sometimes you have to tip your cap to the other guy. As FP said, quite an AB by Cameron Rupp. Doubled his RBI total for the year on that one swing. 2-2 pitch.
He's not stealing, I promise you. I mean, that's just knowing the game, right? You're trying to get the tie and run of the plate. There's no way Ryan Zimmerman's going to steal normally, let alone down by 3 in the bottom of the 9th.
2-2. And the Phillies are giving up some room on the right side of the infield by holding Ryan Zimmerman. And they're trying to keep him close in case there's a ground ball to somebody. Worth on 2-2 now. Good ID on the slider. It's another full count. Stephen Drew is next. And Worth to the shortstop. Galvis, Hernandez, 6-4-3. Game over. Series over. And in exactly 3 hours, the Nats have been surprised by the Philadelphia Phillies, who come in here and sweep the series. And the Phils go to 12-10. The Nats go to 14-7 with their first 3-game losing streak of the season. So a frustrating 3 days against the Phils for FP and Dan. Bob Carpenter. The Phillies shut out the Nats again, 3-0. It's on to St. Louis tomorrow night with Nets Extra beginning at 7:30. This has been a presentation of Masson. Johnny and Phil are straight ahead. And from the booth, so long for just a while.